Flatbush Zombie going solo. Meechy Darko, with I guess this is technically his first solo LP, right? He's had a
Correct.
few solo EPs, but this is the first time he's gone full album. And Gothic Luxury is quite the listen, Dave. Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. Debut solo album for Meechy Darko. I think there's a lot of hype and anticipation for a solo Meech record from Flatbush Zombies fans because I think Meech has always stood out among the three vocalists on Flatbush Zombies. He's always stood out for his very distinct voice, very gravelly, dark, deep voice. And on top of that, he has a personality to the way he raps, the way he performs. He's always come across, I think, as a very unique rapper. Been a fan for a long time. Flatbush Zombies been great for a long time, and kind of cool to hear Meech talk about Gothic Luxury coming to be in this time where the three of them, Meech, Eric, Juice, they're all cool. They're all just doing their own thing right now, kind of exploring their own things. And Meech pointed out this is his first time really rapping, not on beats produced by Eric the Architect. Like this is not Eric beats for the first time, so it's different vibe. But for me, it still kind of felt like what I would expect from Meech from Flatbush Zombies, and I definitely liked it a lot. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff to revisit here because, as he also told Hot 97, a lot of longer tracks on this. He was like, all this hype and anticipation for years and years for a solo Meech album. I had to like really give it to the fans. I couldn't just make a bunch of 2-minute songs, and he certainly didn't do that. So, yeah, I liked it a lot. What did you think?
It was definitely challenging, and I say that in the best way possible because I think
Mhm.
that there's like a lot to explore and to really re-listen to on this. And I think you can take it at face value for being an album that's just kind of dark and has some really great beats and some great flows from Meech on this, as well as I think a
Right.
couple of really top notch appearances and guest verses. But I think when you kind of like listen more, there's a couple of tracks that really get into some like heavy material
Mhm.
and really like explore uh some difficult topics. And I really give him a lot of credit because when you're going solo, um it can be pretty easy to want to play this more a little right down the middle, but he really leaned more into I think his interests and his personal style. And I thought the record was a really well done first record. And there are definitely a few tracks I went back to more than others, but he's just a really singular voice. Like
Mhm.
every time you hear him, you mentioned that gravel. He really plays it up on a few of these tracks, but it is so indistinguishable. It's like, oh, I wasn't sure whose verse that was. No, when Meech is rapping, right? And I think
Yeah.
that really comes across in this.
Totally. Yeah, I think that's right. And I agree, like there's some songs I don't necessarily want to re-listen to just because they're dense or they're dark. He gets into the recent passing of his dad, killed by police in early 2020, and kind of builds on the fact that he didn't have a great relationship with his dad throughout a lot of his life and rekindled that later in life, and now his dad's gone. And how does he feel about that? I think you listen to songs like Kill Us All, where he's really getting into commentary on society and things like that. Perhaps more in an abstract way on a song like What If, where he positions all kinds of stuff about rap and culture and stuff. What if this? What if that? Tupac. What if Chance the Rapper was an atheist? Some of them are just kind of funny thoughts. But, uh, you know, on the other hand, there was what song was it? There was that one song where I thought some of his maybe it was Kill Us All, I forget. Some of his observations were a bit of like, it's like kind of rub your chin when he says some stuff, just kind of getting into a bit of like, oh, both sides are bad stuff, It's like, oh, you're not really saying much here, my guy. It's fine. It's fine. Because again, the way he performs is always just so convincing, It's like,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily need Meech to like write me a dissertation on society. I'm fine just to kind of get that raw emotion that is really more interested in getting out more than actually preaching to you in any way. So, and then I think you get something just a lot more inviting, like On God. with Gangsta Gibbs, and it's like, I mean, say less with that one.
Yeah, that was the clear standout to me on God. Really loved that. Yeah, obviously, you get A track on that as well.
Yeah,
It's a really great mix of talent and just energy. And then Lost Souls has probably the other really big guest verses from Busta Rhymes and Denzel Curry. Man, Busta Rhymes may be the only person that can like match him in terms of like vocal delivery.
that's a
And
good point.
I thought it was a really nice matchup, and it was so catchy. Like that chorus that Denzel sings, it's really really well done in my opinion.
Totally. Yeah, I feel like if I remember right, Denzel and Flatbush Zombies have a bit of a history together. They did this concert performance where they like were in like a boxing ring or something. I want to say that was like a small tour or one-off set or something. So they've been moving together for some time.
Mhm.
Um, but that was, Denzel doing more of his more modern stuff. We got on the Melt My Eyes album earlier this year, more melodic. I'd love to hear Meech and Denzel just rap back and forth because we certainly know Denzel could handle that too. Um, yeah, I think there's just other notes like Proud of You. Like I just think Meech's flow is really good. The flow changes a lot on this album, which again, combining with his voice, it just always makes stuff interesting. Hennessy and Halos, another one with awesome flow. Uh, yeah, I think Lavish Habits. I thought some of his wordplay on that was really fun. Um, Definitely got to listen a few more times, I think, to pick up on some of the more lyrical stuff. But
Mhm.
definitely feels worthy for the long-awaited solo album from Meechy Darko. Feels great for Flatbush Zombie fans that have been, wanting more music. We haven't had a proper Flatbush Zombies album since 2018. We had the EP in 2020 and the Beast Coast album, so it's been a minute. You know. Uh, that being said, I think this was definitely worth the wait. Definitely very interesting, and it's funny hearing Meech talk about why it came out when it did. When he picked August 26th, no one else had picked that as a release date, and then of course Jid dropped, and he was like, "Ah, fuck me." But I think the hip hop fans can make time for both, certainly.
Yeah, I think I think it's worth listening to if you enjoy, especially East Coast hip hop, but just hip hop in general. It's
Hmm.
definitely singular. The production being so dark, I think can be a turn off to some people, but I think it's pretty good. So check that out. Check out whatever song we put on our Nostalgia Best of 2022 playlist on Spotify.